Good evening, all. Good evening.
Evening.
Uh,
Good evening.
okay. I'm hoping you are all doing good, and I hope also you've had a great day at work. So, welcome to our session today. So, yesterday we looked more of data cleaning, data transformation in Power Query. We saw you can import data from our website. So, we discussed so many things. So by now, I'm hoping that you know how to transform your data, how to format it so that it's in the right form before you begin your analysis. So today we are proceeding with data transformation. So yesterday I had shared a file that is a data set that we'll use again to explore more on data cleaning or data transformation, so that you know in detail how you can mash up or how you can wrangle your data. So I'm hoping just open uh, your Power BI, then we shall load the data that I sent you yesterday before we begin now our analysis. So I believe Monday will be our last class. Yeah, so this is the Power BI. So this is the data that we transformed yesterday. That was failed bank list. So after you load the data, it will appear here under tables. The table view will be able to see your data, and all the transformations that we did will be applied. So you remember we had added certain columns, for instance, the column for year, month, and also we did other transformation. Right? Yeah. So after now you've transformed your data, you can now begin now building your dashboard or your report. So you simply go to the report view, and here now you can begin. You can begin now building your visuals or building your charts. Yeah, so let us now import the data set that I shared yesterday. So let us import. So I'll go to get data. So I believe that was an Excel workbook. It was an Excel workbook. So Excel workbook, I had named it data cleaning. So I'll open it. So it's still loading. So this is the power or the navigator. It's the navigator window. So we make sure we select the second table for sales data. Right? So after we've selected sales data, we click on transform because we want to clean the data. So this is now the Power Query editor window. So as you can see, so far we have two queries. When you look at the left pane, we have two queries. So the first one is the data that we transformed yesterday, and then we have now the second query, that's for the data that we've imported today, right? Yeah, so this is the number of queries that we've done. So whenever you are transforming your data, so assuming that you've been given data and you have to cross-check that data to make sure that it is clean, so that when you do your analysis, it will not be flawed or it may not be inaccurate. So one of the things that we normally check is we check whether there are duplicate values in your data set. So first of all, this is sales data, and for us, we can see that we are having a row ID, which is a unique identifier that identifies each transaction. So if we have maybe two row IDs that are similar, then that indicates that that's a duplicate, right? Yeah. So first of all, let us highlight that column. The column is this for row ID, and then we go to view column profile. So when we select view column profile, it will bring you the statistics now. So we have 1000, the count is 1000, error 0, empty, there are no 0, but we do have 996 distinct values, yeah, and then 992 unique, and then empty. Yes, even when you follow the correct step, you go to view and then column profile. Yeah. So if there are any duplicates, you'll be able to know. So if you have duplicates in your data, you have to remove them. Yes, yes.
Did that was moved or removed. I can't.
So when you click it, when you try to open it, it says that maybe that could be the issue. Yeah.
Native, so I can't.
So are you on the navigator window? So make sure you check the box for sales data. Yeah. Yes. Okay. If you are so if now you are opening, maybe you can go to file or to, let me see. Maybe we can do it after. Let's do it after class. Yeah. Okay. So we were here whereby we were checking for duplicates in our data. So it's view column profile. So we want to remove those duplicates. So you will click on that row or on that column, and then we right click and then go to remove duplicates. We have an option for removing duplicates. So we select remove duplicates. Kindly repeat the remove duplicates. You select the column and then you right click. So on the pop-up window that appears, just navigate to where we have remove duplicates. Yeah. Yeah, remove duplicates. Now for now, even when try to see the column profile, you see now everything now is correct. So the count is 1,000 unique, 1000 distinct. Yes, someone has raised their hand.
Yes, hello, good evening.
Hi. So, for you to remove duplicates, the first thing that you do, you select on that column. Simply click on that column and then right click. So when you right click, it will bring a pop-up window and it has various options. So when you navigate downwards, you'll see the option for removing duplicates. It's here. Have you seen it? Okay. So we are done with that. So let us view the column profiles. Or column quality, sorry. So when you select on view column quality, so each column, if you have a column that contains errors, you'll be able to see. So you cannot go in each row or each column trying to see whether there are maybe errors or empty records. So a simpler way is simply going to view and then selecting on check column quality. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sure. So now checking for column quality, you'll be able to see whether you have empty entries in each maybe record or each row. So for instance, if you see maybe you are having maybe two empty cells, or this is 2%, so you can be tempted to go and check these two empty cells, what is in it, or if there are errors, you can also go and check or correct those errors, right? Yeah. So another thing that we have to check is we have to check that we do not have duplicate columns. So when we check this data, let me when we see category name and additional order item, those two columns, when we look at the contents of each, they are similar, right? they are similar, so we have to get rid of one of them. So let us get rid of this column. Now this is deleting the column. So click on remove. So there are no duplicate columns, so we are only having this column for category name, right? So another thing that we can do is, for instance, we want to see how you can merge two columns. So in this scenario, we see that we are having customer first name and also customer last name. So when you see this, you might want to combine the two together. So combine customer first name and the customer last name. So we want to merge. So yesterday we saw how you can merge two columns together. So the procedure is simply the
Hi,
same.
Fred.
Yes.
So to take you back.
No, there are two similar columns. No, not by the name, but when you look at the contents that were in those two columns, they were the same. So I got rid of one. So we had a category name, and also we had additional, I think, additional category item, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So I think we shall explore that later. You simply go. So I want you to remove the one with additional order item. So you simply select on that column, right click, and then you navigate to where we have remove column, right? So let us now combine the customer last name and customer first name. So by combining, we mean we merge the two. Simply right click, highlight the two columns, and then merge columns. So let's put a space. Okay, so highlighting two columns, for instance, select the first column and then hold down Control key and then click on the second column, then right click and then merge. Merge column. So let us put the separator. Let's try a tab. So you can see the two columns now have been merged together. So you can see we are having the merged column that contains customer, last name, and first name. So we can rename that column. So we can rename it. Hope you recall the procedure for renaming. You simply go to that column, right click, and then navigate where we have rename. So this is customer name. Customer name. Customer name. So that's how it is. So we've merged the two together. So if you want to maybe separate them, you use the split column option. So you can right click, select the column, right click it, go to split. Split column. And then click OK. So you can see now we have separated the two. Now we are having customer last name and customer first name. So that's how to merge and split columns. Right. So let's see how you can use proper and upper. So for instance, you might be having entries in your data, and maybe they are starting with small letters, others are starting with capital letters. So if you want them to be in the right form, maybe capitalizing each word could be the best option. So you simply come to and select the column and then you come to transform. So when you are under transform, you can change it to lowercase, uppercase, or you can capitalize each word, right? So when you choose capitalize each word, so you can see the change has been effected. Right? Yeah. So another concept is the concept of checking for whether you have nulls in your data. So let us check whether we have null values, and let us see the cells column. So in the cells column, when I try to check on it, when I click on the drop down, I can see I'm having null values. So now it's upon you whether you want to replace the null values or not. So click on load more. Right? So for you to get rid of null values, you simply come here and unselect null. So because we do not have null cells, right? And click on OK. Right? So I think it's the null values is what was affecting our data mostly. So because now when I see almost each column, it's telling me we are all having almost 100% valid entries.
Where is the check tab?
You see on this filter, I hope you know a filter. So for instance, go to the cells column. So you see on your right where we are having a filter. Yeah, click on it. So hope you can see now all the records, and you can see also the box for null is checked, right? And check it. Simply okay. Yeah.
So just
Yeah. Adjacent fields, yeah. Right? Yes. Yeah. No, you don't. You simply click on the filter. Yeah, it has a drop down. So when you want to select all, you simply click on select all. But if you want to get rid of the nulls, you unselect the nulls. So let me see where I'm having the column quality. Maybe I'm having values not adding to 100%. So let me check order date and see whether there is an issue. So you see in the order date also we do have a null, right? Click on OK. So we have 7 empty cells. So we can click on remove empty. Remove empty cells. So I think it's adding now to 100. Right. So now let us check the data format. So row ID, this should be a text or a string. So we change that to text. Order ID, change to text because order ID is an identifier. So we don't want, when we are doing our analysis, maybe you can find that you are doing an average of an order ID, which is not correct. So you change it to text. So order date, this is supposed to be a date. So customer name and then customer second name. So we can merge these two, we can merge. Right click, then go to merge column. Let's select a tab. This is now customer name. Right, so that should be a string or a text. And then we have category name. That should be a text. Customer segment, market region, customer city, all those are text. Customer ID. Customer ID is an identifier, so I don't want it to be in form of a number. Let it be a text. And then we have customer state, that's a string. Customer's zip code. Order region, that's a text. Order quantity is a number. Sales. Sales, we can put currency. Profit per order, the same thing. Profit per order, the same thing. So we've now checked all the columns or all the fields and made sure that they are in the correct format. So another thing we can do, maybe we can add additional columns. This I showed you yesterday, how to add an additional column. For instance, you see we are having order dates and we want maybe to have year and month. So I can create a duplicate of this column. And to my far right, you can see a duplicate column has been created for order date. In fact, it is written order date copy. So we want now this to give us year. So let me rename this and call it year. Right. So that's supposed to be a date. So I'll simply come to transform data, navigate where I'm having date, I'll look for year. Right. I can still do the same for, I can still have a duplicate column for me to extract the month. Duplicate column. Month. So I'll go to the transform data tab. date, I click month. Yeah. So those are the changes that we have made. So, and after we have made those changes, and if we are now certain that our data is in the right format, you can now load your data. Yes.
Those number.
Which duplicates?
They-
Those are their numbers. So for instance, month 1, 2, those are numbers. So the year you don't change it into date. So for instance, when you select this and say you want to transform it into date, you see it is not giving you the correct thing. You see it's giving you 1905. It's not correct. Right? Yeah, so after making the changes, now you apply the changes into Power BI. So you come to home, click on close and apply. Let it be in a whole number. So after we've made the changes, so now we are loading and effecting the changes in Power BI. Yeah, so we've loaded it. So you can see now under data on your right, you are now having the sales data that you've loaded. So when you go to table view, yes,
How do you load?
you go to home, and then when you at home, so you have close and apply.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So I hope you've gotten the whole concept of data transformation. Yeah. So after you've done that, now you can begin now building your visuals. So, and I want you to now build your dashboard or a report using the data that we've just loaded, this sales data that we've just transformed. Yeah, so you will work on it over the weekend, and then we shall come and go through it on Monday, which I believe will be our last session.
And
Yes.
I have like two questions.
Yeah.
Number one, when we starting to load data,
Yes.
there's that option of transform cell. The first one is usually, I don't know what it is,
So
but selecting transform data.
so we have load, then we have transform data,
Yeah, load.
and then transform data.
Yeah. Okay. So what if now you select load? What happens
So when you select,
instead of
so
when maybe for the transform that?
so when you select maybe load data, so the data will be loaded into Power BI. So assuming that maybe whatever you want to analyze, the data is clean or it is in the right form, that's when you choose load. But even if you do so, for instance, you've clicked on load, and after maybe whenever you are analyzing your data, you feel that there is some transformation that I need to make. So you'll simply come here to transform data. So you'll come here under the home tab on the ribbon, go to transform data. It will take you back to Power Query. So it will take you to Power Query. I believe this is where we were, and you can now make your changes. Have you understood? When you click select, no, both. So when you select load, sorry, so when you are at home and then select,
No, I'm saying like let's say you
yeah,
select
no, when you select load, the data will be loaded into Power BI, and you'll be taken now to the report view. So this is where you'll come to this page for report view, whereby you'll be now be making your visuals. Yeah. But if at all you feel now you need to transform, you'll come to under the home tab, you'll go to transform option, whereby you'll now click on transform data, and this will take you back now to Power Query, where now you'll be able to transform.
Okay, I see Rebecca hand up, but before maybe she asked, my second question was, when we're doing these features I've seen on the top whereby there's run Python, are we going to do maybe that?
I think that's a bit advanced. So for instance, if you want to use such features, have to have the license for you to maximize the full capability of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for instance,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this can allow you to connect to R or Python. So you can write R codes. Also, you can write Python codes when you are in Power BI and run them. Okay. Rebecca? Yes.
I was asking Ivor,
Yes.
I, while transforming this data,
Mm-hmm.
I missed your first step of uploading.
You missed the step of uploading.
Yes, from the web. So, if possible, for me to do the exercise, can you share your data set that was transformed? Because I was working on the Netflix data on practicing.
So you have the data. Where is the data set?
I was working on the Netflix data practicing transforming.
Okay.
Yeah, so can your data be shared so that I can work on the exercise assignment?
Yeah, I think I shared the data on the group. So this data for sales.
We use okay, fine.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Any other question? So now, given that we've cleaned the data and loaded it into Power BI, so we'll come and analyze it on Monday. But over the weekend, you can try it on your own. Yes.
Let me
Yes. So unless you want to export, so let me see if there is an option. I think when you are under file, yes,
yes.
we have the option for importing and exporting. So the problem is you can export to a PDF, to an Excel, because I can see here it's a
PDF or Power BI templates.
yeah. You can just save it in Power BI.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so if there's no any other question, so we'll stop there. Yes, Maureen. Maureen, your hand is up. Yes, yes. Yeah, sure. I'll upload and then share. Yeah. Yeah. So let's meet on Monday, but work on the analysis. Yeah, you can't remain behind. So the rest you can leave.